Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chicken Possible back with another Microsoft Rewards punch card. This week we've got a couple of things available. We've got this Elder Scrolls Online 6,000 point Greymoor punch card. The bad thing about this one, and the reason why I won't be working on this one today, is you actually have to buy the game, which is either $48 if you have Game Pass or $60 if you don't have Game Pass. Now, there's a bonus punch card, if you look up in the top setup here, that's worth 250 points. So this is the one we're going to work on, and this bonus punch card is going to be available through June 19th. Basically, you just have to click on the punch card to activate it, the first step, and then the second step is to unlock an achievement in it. And it does say, you'll notice, earn it in Elder Scrolls Online Greymoor. But I decided to go ahead and test this out. And because I noticed that the Elder Scrolls Online, the Tamriel version, was available for free if you have Game Pass. So if you have access to Game Pass, this is going to work. Don't worry about getting the Greymoor version. Try to get the free version that is available on Game Pass that you can download. It has a little bit different look to it. It has more of a gray icon to it, and it says Tamriel on it. So get that one, and you'll be able to unlock an achievement with me here. So what we're going to do, it's going to take a little while to get this game installed. It's a fairly large game, but pretty cool. I actually enjoyed walking through the first level of it here. So go ahead and get that started. We'll press A to start on the menu screen here. And you can select your location, whether you're in North America, Europe, or in a different location in the world. Then you have to do a couple of adjustments at the beginning like you do with a lot of games. So adjust to the edges of your screen, get that set in, adjust the brightness level to whatever looks good to you, and then press A to accept. This game has a lot of license agreement things that you'll need to move through. You'll also need to create an account with Elder Scrolls Online. Let's see, let's move on, and we're going to start building our character in just a second. Yet another online privacy notice to move through, so press A, and the terms of service, press A to acknowledge those. All right, we're almost to the character building here. But basically, as we move through this, we're gonna just move through the first level of the game and unlock the achievement there. I'm gonna show you kind of the quickest ways to do the fights and the battles and everything that you'll have to do to get through the first level. You can press A to skip the first cutscene and jump right into the game. And you can see here they're actually trying to get us once again to sign up for Greymoor so we can upgrade or enter a code if we have that. We don't have that. I don't have that. So we're just going to hit B to skip, and that'll keep us from having to do this specific Greymoor piece of the game. We'll just do the basic starter Tamriel section. All right, so here's where you're setting up your character. You can change the gender and all sorts of different things, including the the body height and weight and that sort of thing. You can also just press X to randomize. So I went through the randomizer a couple times and decided I liked the look of a character. Doesn't really matter. When you're entering in the name, I tried a couple of basic names like William and Greg, and those were not accepted by the system. It said that the names were already in use. So probably what I would suggest here is try your gamer tag, because that's probably not being used by anybody else in Elder Scrolls Online, chances are. So that's what I ended up doing here, just entering in Chicken Possible as my character's name, and I accidentally had a space, so I had to go back and delete the space. Oh my goodness, whoever thought entering a name would take like 5 minutes. Anyway, but yeah, try your gamer tag. That might work out a little bit better than just entering in a more general name. All right, so we're going to start out, kind of the story of this is we're starting out in the wrong place, the Wailing Prison. So we're going to have to work to get free from that prison, and we're going to have to free somebody else from prison along the way. We'll get to that in just a minute. All right, so this is called Soul Shriven in Coldharbour, and the first objective is to find a way to escape Coldharbour. So you can see you're kind of locked in a cell here. If you move over to the cell door, after a minute, your new friend will come over and talk to you at the cell. You can press A to open that door. And we need to find a weapon, so you'll find one on this down soldier over to the right. There's a cast-off iron greatsword. And it says to press right trigger to ready your weapon. That was not working for me, so I decided to go press the menu button and move into inventory, and I thought I could find the weapon in there. So yeah, like it says, you can select a weapon and then equip it. So if you go down to main hand and then press A to select, then you can press A to equip the cast-off iron greatsword. And then press B a couple times to hop back to the game, and then you can continue to follow your new friend, whose name is Lyris Titanborn. So we'll have to practice combat now that we've got our sword. And you're basically just kind of swinging with the right trigger to do the light attack. And that first prison guard goes down pretty quickly.
There are more danger on the way. Let's keep moving.
Don't stop now. Keep moving. More guards are on the way.
All right, so we're just sprinting a little bit more to follow Lyris, trying to find our way out of the prison here. And you can see our objective is always at the upper right. It says defeat the prison guards, so that's the next thing we've got to do. And then you can hold down the left trigger to block. And then if you hold down the right trigger, like it says, you can do a heavy attack. So it'll kind of hold down the trigger for a couple seconds and then smash. If the person is doing magic like this, you can hold both triggers to sort of deflect that attack. Just sort of the basic combat of ESO here we're learning as we go along through this tutorial level.
Greetings, resident. Like you, I am a prisoner in this place. You must rescue me.
I've got some really cool voices, some cool voice acting that's going on in this game. I believe that was Michael Gambon, who you might remember from the Harry Potter series. He played Dumbledore in the last few movies. So anyway, just a little side note there. All right, we've got to talk to Lyris and learn a bit of information about the Prophet.
These tunnels will eventually take us to the Towers of Eyes.
The Prophet is going to help us get out of this prison and back to the land of Tamriel. So,
I've no idea. Brute force? We'll find a way. We have to.
all right, so we're just going to keep moving, like she says, keep following Lyris. And whenever you come up to these doors that you need to open, just press A, and they'll move out of your way. Now it says our next objective is to defeat the Forge Master here. He's got quite a bit more health than the previous enemies that we fought. So luckily you've got Lyris helping you, and she seems to be taking the brunt of the damage at the moment. So we'll just slice the Forge Master in the back here and whittle his health down. You'll see the enemy's health at the upper center of the screen, and it also kind of hovers above their head when they're far away.
Well played, friend. In our case, you are good in a fight.
And if you want to claim those rewards, you can hit that menu button like it says, and you just press A over claim now. I actually didn't do it there, so that alert is going to be on my screen for a couple minutes, but I do it eventually. All right, so we've moved out of the prison and into the outside area. This area was a little overwhelming to me when I first came out because there's a lot of stuff going on. There are little battles going on. It looks like there are other players that are out here with you, and lots of things to look at. You can see at the upper right, though, that it says destroy a Coldharbour Sentinel is our objective. And there are two of these. One's kind of across the river, and one is just to your left as you come out. The gateways to the Sentinels look like this. They're these big round gateways that have spikes. So just kind of move around, check your map and look for those. And basically, once you find one, you want to just keep moving through it. Don't worry too much about the battles that are going on around you. I mean, you can obviously fight through those if you want to, but basically just keep moving on past the little gateway. Keep traveling up, up, up until you get to this eyeball thing, this dark blue eyeball. Now, if you remember the Lord of the Rings trilogy, this definitely seems like a takeoff of the Eye of Sauron. But anyway, in order to destroy the Sentinel, you're going to have to sneak up on it, which is it was a little awkward for me to do. Like it says, you can press the right stick to sneak. I think I was trying to hold down the right stick in order to do the sneak, so I wasn't doing it correctly all the time. You really want to just kind of tap it though, because it goes into kind of a toggle mode. It's not a hold mode, if that makes sense. So you just want to toggle it on. And then, so I'm hidden right now, so I'm able to keep moving forward. But if it does see you, like he's going to see me just here in a second, it kind of freezes you in place, and the eyeball just kind of like looks at you for a second. So, not to worry though, it doesn't hurt you or anything. So you just got to continue to try to click that right stick to get your sneak going again, to sneak up on the Sentinel. There we go. We're hidden, although it says detected. And then we can press right trigger to perform the sneak attack that it mentioned. I actually jumped there, but there we go. Sneak attack. And the Sentinel is destroyed. Our next objective is to reach the Prophet's Cell. Okay, so we're taking a look on the map here at the Prophet's Cell. But look at the waypoint up above. You can see at the top that the next objective is to the west. So you can actually just kind of follow along with that and head in that direction. So you can see I'm on the right track now, just ignoring the enemies that are along the way. And we've got a new waypoint that's appeared, but I've decided I'm going to fight off this this female guard because she's just going to town on me on my back. So, and we're actually getting some help from the little villagers in the area, so that's helpful. All right, so you can see our next waypoint for the Prophet's Cell. That's where we need to go next. So let's follow that waypoint at the upper center of the screen and go in that direction.
Fool! You will never escape my realm.
Hermamora's wagging tongue. The door's warded. We'll never get in this way.
All right, so I claimed my points from earlier, so that that little alert is off of the screen now. All right, we need to talk to Lyris at this point, and she'll tell us about the next character that we need to come into contact with, whose name is Cadwell, and he's not very far away from where we are currently.
Cadwell sees things as he wishes them to be.
So the next character is just down the river a little bit, Cadwell, and we'll follow the waypoint on the screen here to work our way towards him. And here he is.
Hello, what's this? Out for a stroll then?
And another character from, or another actor from the Harry Potter series. You might remember this voice from Nearly Headless Nick. A famous British actor named John Cleese voices Cadwell in this game. So yeah, they've got kind of an all-star cast, at least in the beginning of Elder Scrolls Online here. Pretty cool. All right, we're going to follow Lyris down the river. Don't worry about stepping in this water. I was a little bit worried that it was dangerous, but it's not. I guess it's blue water, so that's good, right? Red water would be bad, I guess. All right, now the lock picking, we've got to pick the lock on this door, which sounded difficult to me at first, but once you get started, it's pretty easy to do. You'll probably want to start with the far left pin, so you can use your left stick to move it over to that, and when it starts to jiggle, then you'll hit the right trigger to depress that pin, meaning to hold it down in that position. So just kind of move each one, and as it starts to jiggle, try to hit that right trigger to lock it in, and then eventually you'll be able to open the door. Getting close to the end now. This takes about another 5-10 minutes to complete, but we're getting very close to that achievement that we need now. Our next objective is to find the Prophet's Cell. Luckily, we do have a map, as always, down here. So as you start to move forward, you probably get lost in this little section of the map. So take a look. You want to head down to the kind of southeast corner where the objective marker is. So I need to actually turn around and then take a couple of lefts. So you'll see me turn around 180 degrees here, and we're going to take basically 2 lefts to get where we need to go. And there are enemies down here, which, again, you can fight if you want to. I'm just kind of using that left stick click to do the sprinting, to run past them all. And I actually get hit by fire there. I could have avoided that. But anyway, move on to the door, open the door. It didn't take off enough of my health to actually kill me or anything. So try to avoid those flames if you can, I would say. Because we do have a battle that's coming up. Actually, a couple of battles that are coming up in a minute, so... All right, so we found the Prophet. We're getting very close. So you can see that he's imprisoned inside of this sort of magical orb here. So we've got to unlock him. First thing we've got to do is talk to Lyris again. So let's press A to talk to her and find out a little bit more information about what's going on. Or you can run up and inspect the Prophet if you want to, like I did. Take a look at the little prison that he's trapped inside of. That's pretty cool, huh? Doesn't look that appealing. Maybe we should get him out. Let's get him out. We'll talk to Lyris.
There's a trick to opening the cell. The only way for a prisoner to leave is for another living soul to take their place.
All right, so we've got to replace the Prophet with Lyris, basically. Make sure you talk, do the full conversation with her, or it will not let you move on. All right, and now we've got to defend her while she goes through this swapping process. So she's going to take the place of the Prophet, and we're going to let him be free. But these little guards spawn as Lyris is going through that process. So just use your battle skills that you learned earlier. Do the slashing if you need with the right trigger. If you need to block, that's left trigger. If they start to cast a spell, it's both triggers at the same time to kind of bounce it back at them. And you can use that strong attack by holding down the right trigger for a few seconds and then attacking them with that. You can also, if they're about to do the little magical attack, you can also just sort of move out of the way because they tend to attack in a very straightforward manner. So you can see his path that he was attacking with his spell. I just kind of dodged around and got behind him. So that's another way to avoid being attacked by the different little minions here. All right, now we've got to activate these things, these little pinions that are over to the side. So just go over to each one and press A on it. Now it says we're waiting for the exchange. So we're going to swap Lyris for the Prophet. And we've got the Prophet out now. Hopefully Lyris gets freed later on in the game. I don't really know. Seems like she probably would since she's one of our friends, right? We'd have to go rescue her at some point. But anyway, for now, we've got the Prophet.
That is what I've come to be called. My true name is lost even to me.
There's Michael Gambon again. Look him up on Google if you don't know who that is. Like I said, you'll remember him as Dumbledore from the Harry Potter series. The second Dumbledore, right? All right, so now we're entering the anchor mooring. Just run out to the door, up the stairwell, and press A on the door. And then we're going to this place called Anchor Base. And we've got to defeat an enemy called the Child of Bones, which is enormous when you first see him. And you're probably thinking, how am I going to defeat this thing? Because it is huge, and we're not ready for this, right? We've just got this old crusty sword, and all we've learned to do is hack and slash. But it's okay. He's smaller. Look, he got smaller. That's nice. And he's actually kind of slow. So you kind of just run around to the side of him, slash him a few times. He's actually not that tough. He looks tougher than he is. And don't worry too much about the Prophet. He didn't seem to get hurt at all, even though looked like the Child of Bones was slashing at him. He's actually shooting some magical bolts at the Bones guy as well, so that's helpful. and you can take all of his gold and stuff that he drops. And then the prophet's going to tell us a little bit about a magical sky shard that we'll be able to use to restore us to our body and get out of the prison. So, all right, so he goes up and casts a spell for us to get a sky shard delivered to this area. Press A to use the sky shard. And then he's got to cast one more spell to get us to be able to leave the prison entirely and get out of the Coldharbour area.
Let the way be opened. Let these wandering souls return home. Let the will of Moloch Baal be denied. Hurry! We must go now.
All right, and then just move forward into the rift, and you'll be floated back up to Tamriel. All right, so the prophet's here with us still, so let's move over and talk to him.
Awakens once again. Come here. We must speak. As I feared.
And again, you'll have to actually move through this conversation to finish this quest out and unlock our achievement.
I'm afraid you will have to decide that for yourself. I cannot.
And you'll have to make sure that you choose complete quest. If you hop out of the conversation too early, it's actually not fully completed. So make sure you finish that conversation by choosing complete quest in the conversational options. And then you can choose goodbye after that. And your achievement should unlock for Soul Shriven in Coldharbour. Complete the main quest, Chapter 1. So that's the very first part of Elder Scrolls Online, again, without purchasing the Greymoor DLC. And if we hop over to the Microsoft Rewards app, we'll see that it registers that we have unlocked an achievement in Elder Scrolls Online. Again, not Greymoor, but we still did it, and Microsoft Rewards is happy with us. So we've got our 250 points unlocked, and that's going to do it for this Elder Scrolls Online punch card. I hope that was helpful, y'all. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found that video helpful, please be sure to click the subscribe button on YouTube and hit that bell for notifications. You can also find links in the description for other social media links of mine. Stay tuned for more Microsoft Rewards and achievement guides, and I'll see you in the next one.